also features wings, huge salads, and more. Plus, they deliver to almost everywhere in Pitt County. Located on Greenville Boulevard next to Ashley Furniture Warehouse, they're open for lunch, dinner, and late night for dine-in, pickup, or delivery. It's Community Calzone.
Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
Greenville's original express car wash is now offering a fast pass for as low as $19.99. That's one pass, 4 locations, and unlimited washes. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and East 10th Street, and also in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road. And by popular demand, Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple!
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello everyone, welcome in to a Wednesday, Wood Ducks Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We are on 1250, 930, and online, if you prefer that option, pr927fm.com. You can also watch the program on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Make sure you are subscribed to Pirate Radio TV. Got New episode of Pirate Radio Trivia dropping momentarily, featuring Troy D versus Jenny Shelton, an in-house rivalry. And boy, it was a bloodbath. Check it out, folks. You're going to want to see that one. Presented by White Claw and AJ McMurphy's. And by the way, when you watch it, share it on Facebook for your chance to win a great White Claw prize pack. So you can check that out soon on Facebook and on YouTube. All right, we got a lot to get to on today's program. I feel like we've been previewing the Conley Rose Showdown all week. The biggest game in baseball history in Pitt County. Right, Mike Mullis? We just had an off-air 30-minute debate about that with Troy D in here. It is a huge game tonight. You cannot deny that.
Yeah, it's a big ball game in a lineage of great Pitt County baseball.
Yes.
There have been lots of big games. And quite frankly, as I understand it, that one of the trivia questions was about a fairly well-known baseball player.
We'll get to that
here in Eastern North Carolina, more specifically with your ECU Pirates. And the guy that's debating me as though he's a baseball guy didn't even know who this guy was.
All right. Before we get too far off track, let's get back on the tracks. Mike Mullis is hanging out. We got a ton of news and notes to get to with Mully here in hour number one. At about 3:45, we will talk to the head baseball coach out at D.H. Conley, Jason Mills. To pull back the curtain, this interview was conducted on Monday. Was going to run it on Tuesday. They didn't play yesterday. So we will finally run that Mills interview today. I talked to Ronald Vincent on Tuesday. We didn't run it on yesterday's show. We will run that today because the game is coming up tonight between Conley and Rose at 7 o'clock. So you'll hear from both head coaches coming up at 3:45 and at 4 o'clock. 4:15, we'll visit with the voice, Jeff Charles. At 5 o'clock, we are planning to talk with the color analyst of the South Carolina Gamecocks, Tommy Suggs, as we continue our ECU football opponent previews. We'll be doing that during the summer. Got App State play-by-play voice Adam Whitten coming up on Friday. Bryce Williams also set to join us in the 5 o'clock hour today. We'll get a Big Rock recap as Bryce Williams went fishing in the Big Rock last Thursday. So all that on the way. We got Chandler Honeycutt here. We got the big dog Glenn Griffin and Mike Mullis in studio. How you doing, Mully?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Doing great. A lot of great time for a sports fan. Great time for a baseball fan, especially with everything going on right now. Got a lot of options.
Yeah, the only downside is you start to see college baseball wrap up, and there's
no afternoon game. I feel like I should be watching one right now.
Right, that's part of the get you off the cycle, because there's been games on at 2 o'clock and. But yeah, no, and I'm going to tell you, this has been one of the best postseasons from a game standpoint that I can remember in a long. There's been a lot of really, really good baseball games.
I remember a lot of other years that were better than this one, but
of course you would say that. You and Troy get together and work that answer up because that was the peak of creativity right there.
Thank you, sir.
Give me an example of just one game that you think was
1985. Better. You don't remember all those games?
Yeah,
between.
Attempt to.
Mississippi State, Will Clark, I don't know.
Yeah.
Robin Ventura.
You're throwing out some good names.
I saw where'd Terry Francona go to school? I saw
Arizona.
I saw him on a highlight this week. No, I'm going to say it, Mully. This has been awesome. I'm not willing to say it's the best because this is one of the first years I've really been locked in as much as I have been this year.
Kind of like Troy.
It is recency bias for me.
Correct. No, the number of games that you've seen 1-0, 2-1 games. Obviously, in the regionals, you had some blowout games, but there's been some really, really impressive performances, and you can't take anything away from Leiter's 15 punch outs of the night, and then State hits a big home run and 1-0 ball game. That's quality baseball. And I tell you what, it really makes me have even greater distaste for what's happening in the pro game.
I know we'll get there too. I can't wait to talk about last night's 3-ring circus.
What a joke.
Philadelphia.
It wasn't just Philadelphia. Did you see what was the guy?
Sergio Romo.
Romo. Yeah, he's getting checked after giving up a home run.
So if he's not cheating, can they get the home run back? Or if he is cheating, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think in that situation, you have enough sensitivity just to let the young guy go to the dugout.
Yeah. Glenn Griffin has made us this fancy new rundown we're doing on the show, Mully. So we're going to go in order of these topics today.
Okay. I apologize.
No, that's fine. I just want you to see his work. And
that's pretty impressive.
As we admire the work you and, Fixed NC helped out around here, you can admire some of his work.
Well, that's great.
And we'll start with ECU football, and this news stinks, to be quite honest with you. You see a lot of players, not a lot, but when you see student athletes stop playing their sport in college, it's for multiple reasons. It's a focus on academics, it's a law issue, arrest, but it really stinks when it is a medical issue, and that has been the case. Peyton Winstead came here and was expected to be a key member, a center, a key member of the offensive line, and just has had injury after injury, and he's been unable to get on the field, to get to practice. He has basically been injured since 2018. And Mike Houston said on Tuesday to Stephen Igo with Hoist the Colors that he will be medically retiring from playing football at ECU. So Peyton, that center position, I say it time and time again, has been just cursed for ECU. John Spellacy had to medically retire. He was looked like he was going to be a good player. Same with Peyton Winstead here. So Mully, you hate to see that, a guy that wants to give it a go that is unable to.
No, what it seemed like he and Holt kind of coming in together had a little chemistry there, and
what you love between a center.
Yeah, and QB, it was going to be something that was going to be fun to watch. And so I hate to hear it for that young guy, but I'm sure he's moving on with life, and it'll be interesting to see where he resurfaces as it relates to, does he stay involved in the program in some capacity, or those are the guys that turn out to be great coaches. They've had plenty of chances to learn, and so who knows, and maybe his desire is to just move on and move on with life. So wish him all the best.
No doubt. On another college football note, Mully, I don't know why we have to have so many committees and meetings with this college football playoff thing, but this is the Heather Dinich, ESPN. The proposal for a 12-team college football playoff cleared another hurdle on Tuesday when 11 presidents and chancellors, who have the ultimate authority over the format, authorized the 10 FBS commissioners to begin a summer review phase to determine the feasibility of expanding the playoffs, when it would happen, what are the details on it. So it's gone from like committee to committee. Now we're beginning a summer review phase. Let's get it done.
The NCAA is at a huge kind of fork in the road with what their identity is going to be, what their value to
sports,
to college, yeah. What's any of it even going to mean anymore?
True.
So I this may be one of those efforts that's just a little too late in coming, and we've talked about it before, both on the air and off the air, that I've kind of had the opinion that and shared the opinion with lots of folks that you would see the top 25 or however you want to break that out kind of secede from the union and do their own thing, and I think that's becoming more and more likely.
On that note, this is outside of the NCAA. The NCAA is not in this article. This is college football. And presidents and chancellors, they're kind of doing already what you're saying.
Yeah. They're saying, and they're not even seeking guidance from the NCAA. But
now the NCAA, we're seing their name pop up with this NIL.
Yeah. And all that. What's funny about that is, even though, and it's kind of weird the way you mentioned it, I looked at you like I was a little confused. The reality is, you have these NCAA programs that are making decisions that don't garner any merit from the NCAA. It's all kind of crazy. But then you have the NCAA making these decisions as it relates to and really the NCAA didn't make the decision for the NIL. That was made at a much higher level.
I don't even know a good comparison. Would it be like the Braves and Yankees saying, yeah, I don't want to play the Mets and Red Sox tonight. Let's go play each other in Texas and sell our own tickets.
I think it's reflective of kind of what you're seeing in politics, where you're seeing some states say, "Hey, we're no longer going to offer federal aid to our," in other words, their thought is that to try to get people back to work, we're going to cut off the federal aid.
So instead of states' rights, it's schools' rights.
Yeah, it's right. Hey, we could do police ourselves. Yeah, we got to run our own business here. Yeah. So I think that's kind of what very similar. I mean, although the federal government said, "Hey, we're not going to fund the build the wall in Texas," the state of Texas said, "Well, we're going to finish building the wall." So I think you're kind of starting to see some of these things.
Mully, you're the ultimate contrarian. But you gotta like this 12-team playoff, right?
Yeah, no,
It's
I think
a good thing.
I think it's good for opportunity. I think if there is a downside to it, I think you open up these guys to playing one more game, and the last thing you'd want to see happen is somebody that
you're getting a player safety here,
or somebody get a little dinged up and then they go into it. And of course, I'm sure there'll be a break on the back end where there'll be a 2-week break before they play the national championship game. But you see that where you could see somebody get hurt that would be costly for the better of the two teams. But that's that could happen anyway. So no, I think that's I think it is a good thing. I mean, it makes the situation for the East Carolinas of the world look a lot more positive and creates opportunity.
100%. Not saying ECU is going to be there, just saying going into a season, if this is implemented, you have something to reach. You have a goal to get to. Let's go undefeated. Let's play in this thing. Let's play Alabama in the national championship.
Right. See what happens.
Yeah.
Or not even if it's not the national championship, just to play.
Let's play Auburn in the first round.
Yeah, right. And financially, what's that worth to the institution?
Yeah.
And I think that's a big question right now. That's the other thing. If the NCAA or whomever is making these decisions, the financial ramifications of having a 12-team playoff should greatly outweigh any logistical challenges that would come about. I mean, you should be able to overcome those with any thought at all. But across sport, across the world, we're seeing just such a huge time of change that it's crazy. I mean, again, I know we're going to get to Major League Baseball, but it's so big there. And then the NIL thing. I mean, how does that vet out? And has that thing been thought through? If a kid is receiving money and now that's taken out of his income, now he's got to pay taxes on that money. Where does that start and stop? Do they put a limit on? I mean, it's just. It seems like it's going to be years, maybe 8-10 years from now before we really know what that means.
Yeah, and my simple brain says, Mully, that if UBE wants to have a Holt Naylor shirt like with his face on it at UBE and sell it, that he should get a piece of that profit.
Sure,
I think that makes sense. Now what I can't tell you is all the issues this is going to cause across the board.
So, the question becomes the swag packs or the uniforms, the shoes, the benefits, all these things. Do those now become taxable? I don't know. I think,
but every player, in fact, not a lot of players at all, are probably going to take advantage of this NIL deal.
No, that's right. But
nobody's going to want their face on anything.
I don't know. I don't
harsh to say.
I don't know. But I heard an interview with Rex Chapman this week, and Rex was saying back when he was at Kentucky, they came out with the "I Love Rex" shirts. He said they sold thousands of them.
Yeah.
And he didn't get a penny for it.
No.
So I get that. I don't know. It's such a deep dive that I don't even know the points to even try to argue right now because it's still such a new thing.
Mike Mullis joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. Mully, let's get a Cliff Godwin update. You know more about everything going on than I do, including Corey Glore leaving East Carolina for Tulane.
Yeah, good for him. Congratulations to Corey.
I don't say that.
No, obviously it's been made.
It's done now. Who cares?
No. Good for him. That's a big deal, and I'm
what a face you made. All right, we'll move on.
I'm happy.
Anyway, Cliff Godwin, what's going to happen to him?
I don't think he knows. And he may know, obviously, but I think there's still a lot of speculation out there, and I think anything that you could come up with right now would be strictly from the rumor mill, and so time will tell. I did find it interesting that I don't know if it was D1 or somebody did an article about that the fact that LSU had flown out to Omaha, and it looked at the 8 coaches that were out there, and it mentioned their probability of going to Baton Rouge.
Who was most likely? Tennessee.
What I really took away from it is they had what these guys are paid right now. Like Tim Corbin, it was like an astronomical number, like 1.618, and then maybe a 2.2 total compensation. And the lowest paid guy there was Vitello from Tennessee,
really?
And he was at $800,000. So no need to cry for him. But
what's Avent? Is he at $1 million?
I can't remember. His number was right there at Vitello's number 2. But it's kind of interesting as to what kind of where all that is.
Do you like those Tennessee swaggy, hothead guys they got there?
I think they're interesting.
They are certainly entertaining. Did you see yesterday?
Yeah.
They got ran?
Yeah. I look, and I said early on, I thought Tennessee and NC State would have been an incredible 3-game series just from a stylistic personality standpoint, because they both kind of carry a little bit of that swagger.
Yeah.
Tennessee a little more than State, but
Tennessee definitely embodies their head coach, which is
correct.
Got flashy, kind of emotional.
And you know, when Tennessee had a huge advantage going into with the style of baseball they play, their numbers maybe were a little inflated, maybe not a huge advantage. You know, playing a smaller ballpark, hit a lot of home runs, but you know, you get out to Omaha and you don't pitch it necessarily maybe the way you can or as good as you can, then you know it can be a short trip, which they've seen.
About 30 minutes ago, Brian Bailey tweeted out that there is a top 3 finalist list for the LSU job. It includes Arizona's Jay Johnson, Notre Dame's Link Jarrett, and East Carolina's Cliff Godwin.
Interesting,
very interesting.
So Arizona, and then we know all about Link Jarrett and Cliff Godwin is the top 3. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and I can't go wrong with either one of them. Obviously, we'd love to see him pick one of the other 2 guys, but interesting. And of course, then you always are going to have the kind of moving parts that's going to create another position that's going to pay, you know, potentially more than East Carolina can or cares to pay. And does that create an opportunity that may, you know, move Cliff? And so who knows? I mean, I think it's one of those things every year you see him on the field, you need to be appreciative and you know, and just hope it wasn't our last year.
We told Molly, I think it was off the air, about Link Jarrett's rise to where he is. So he went from ECU assistant to
like an ops guy, development guy at Auburn,
and then got the head
UNCG.
Job at UNCG, and from there to Notre Dame.
Correct.
So that was the path for Link Jarrett, and we saw how good they were, and heard Brandon Walker, Mississippi State fan, a guy from Barstool, say that if that was in South Bend instead of Starkville, he thinks it might have gone Notre Dame's way. That was a pretty good super regional series.
No, and they can hit too, or they had a great offensive team, hit a lot of home runs, and so yeah. I mean, again, this whole thing will be interesting to see how it shakes out.
You've been the pack whisperer thus far.
Yeah.
How far are they taking it all the way?
I just think they'll go deep into the weekend, and I guess they've already accomplished that since they're undefeated, waiting to figure out who they're going to play. So, they're hot, and I like the way they play the game. They play hard, and I kind of bit on that since there was probably 2 weeks left in the regular season. So
I am fascinated to watch Vanderbilt play for the first time, Mully, without seeing Rocker or Leiter. First time I saw Vandy was against ECU last weekend. Right. You've watched them more than I have. So I don't, what's the confidence level like with those guys when their big guns aren't on the mound? Can they get any kind of offense going? We saw a little bit in their first game where they were able to come back and win, but we sure didn't see it the other night.
No, and when they're gonna the key every year, the team that wins the College World Series has a pitching performance from somebody that they did not expect to get that performance from.
Yeah,
I mean, it's every year. So somebody's going to have to step up on one of these teams that's still out there, and that's what it's going to take. It's if I was a Vandy, diehard man, you think if you can win. If you could win 1 or 2 more games, then you're back to Rocker and Leiter, which would be pretty interesting.
I was thinking you win tonight, you get State on Friday, you could go Rocker. That's almost on a week's rest.
You that's what I'm saying. You
win one more.
Well, yeah, and then you've got them.
Yeah.
And then everything changes when you get that deep in, and then obviously you get to the best of 3 series, and everybody goes into that with a clean slate. So
a lot of these. Do you know that Highfield guy that pitched the other night for State?
No. But I really enjoy. I've seen him pitch a couple times, and he pitched. I mean, it wasn't a crazy velocity or crazy, but man, he could pitch.
All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll talk about Conley Rose coming up tonight, NBA playoffs. We'll see if he's watching it right now. That amazing pass by Jay Crowder last night. And
I think that thing almost went in.
Well, we're looking at it now. It's almost like a horse shot. And look how close it is to clipping the backboard. That is a pinpoint pass by Jay Crowder. We'll see what Mully knows about the current NBA playoffs. and talk some Major League Baseball, some golf as well. More to go. Mike Mullis. We're back after this.
Hey Birdland, Orioles 2021 single game tickets are on sale now for all games June through September at Orioles.com/tickets. Single game options are flexible and affordable with individual tickets starting as low as $15. You can choose from popular promo dates and fan favorite giveaways, including bobbleheads, t-shirts, caps, and more. Simply select your dates and purchase tickets now at Orioles.com/tickets. That's single game tickets as low as $15. Available to all fans now at Orioles.com/tickets.
The Tarboro River Bandits are back, and this year we'll have a full season, and all fans are welcome this year. Come watch some of the best collegiate baseball around with over 20 Division I players on this active roster looking to compete at a high level. We have a family-friendly atmosphere, awesome stadium, food and drink specials, plus the coldest beer on the East. Come do something different with the family this summer with the Tarboro River Bandits. 29 home games to choose from. Tickets available at the gate or online at TarboroRiverBandits.com.
At Tiebreakers, we admit we have a bit of a problem. People love our wings so much that they're starting to sell their home TVs just so they can watch all the sporting events here at Tiebreakers. Seriously, we're glad you love our hand-breaded and hand-cut boneless wings that much, but we really need you to go home at the end of the night. It's okay, we'll be here tomorrow. And when you come back, bring a friend with you. For great food, great friends, and cold beer, we'll see you at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers, break the chain, eat local.
In studio today with Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions. And Tony, you love to help people remodel spaces or even do new construction.
We do, and we also can help people find financing when they want to do projects like this. And so we partner with folks like Joey Barrow with Annie Mac Mortgage.
And Joey's in studio with us as well. And Joey, people have a lot of financing questions to be able to help reach the home of their dreams, whether it's remodel or new construction.
No matter how large or small the project may be, we have options for you. Even if you have credit concerns, we provide guidance to help you get the home of your dream or turn the home that you currently have into the home of your dream.
Joey, how can folks get up with you?
You can call us today at 917-8400, or you can go to our website at greenville.annie-mac.com.
And Tony, what about if people have renovation questions? How can they get up with AG Home Solutions?
You can contact us at 947-2526 or check out our website at aghomesolutions.com.
Thanks again to Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions and Joey Barrow from Annie Mac Mortgage joining us today.
You can paint these pitches purple!
Classic sports moments never get old, and neither does classic food from CPW's. CPW's classic menu is bagged with all of your favorites like tortellini CPW's, Cajun chicken and pasta, classic lasagna, the garbage pizza, the stromboli, calzone, Atlantic salmon, the Cajun fried shrimp wrap, and more. Start every meal off with your favorite beverage and CPW's fresh baked bread and garlic butter. CPW's, serving classics in Greenville since 1995. Stanton Square near the hospital.
In studio today with Matlock, also known as Brad Evans to his friends and family. Why F3?
F3 is a great way to work out, get in shape, but most importantly, F3 is a way to get together with other guys in the community, develop a great group of friends, and have a good time doing it. What I'd tell people about F3 is don't be afraid to get up early in the morning to go work out. You can do it.
One letter, one number, F3. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville across from Ron Ayers Motorsports and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
Pirate Radio.
We're going to be bigger, faster, stronger, and older. That's always a good combination.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Got damage? Damage from wood rot? Fixed. Damage from smoke or fire? Fixed. Damage caused by water? Fixed. If you've got damage, use a contractor that works for you and not your insurance company. Visit fixnc.com today or call 999-0001. That's 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Fix NC, restore, renew, maintain. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Packed show for you. We'll talk to Jason Mills coming up in about 20 minutes. Got Ronald Vincent, the legendary RV, at 4 o'clock. Jeff Charles going to join us. Also Tommy Suggs from South Carolina football. And Bryce Williams. He fished in the Big Rock last week. Mully, you a Big Rock guy? You a fisherman?
No, not at all. I do keep up with that because, it's just a cool event. So we kind of watch the leaderboard, and I know some guys that do enjoy that. So
Mully is a baseball guy, and coming up tonight, Conley rose for the right to go to the state championship. We've talked about how big this ball game is. It is massive.
It is a big game.
It is.
So, and anybody, please feel free to chime in. Troy makes the comment that this is the biggest game in the history of Pitt County high school baseball. And I'm like, there has been so many, over the history of Pitt County baseball, there have been so many big games. I could think back to the last time these two teams played for the right to move on. But it's a big game, no question about it. They got great weather. Everybody's been waiting on this game. Pitchers are fresh. It'll be awesome. Be a great game. But it's a little bit of an oversell to say the biggest game in the history of Pitt County high school baseball.
It is definitely up there because these two teams are rivals, and the winner goes to the state championship. These are the biggest stakes this rivalry can have.
It's a big game.
Okay, it's a big game. Who's got the edge? They split during the regular season. One on each other's field during the regular season.
I guess you have to feel. I was going to say you would feel like you would give it to the home team if the split hadn't happened the way it happened. But give it to the home team maybe. But they're both quality clubs, man. There's just no. And
kind of the way it worked out. We were talking about this with Omaha. That if you could get back to the top of your rotation, you're feeling pretty good about yourselves. We'll talk to Mills and RV. They both have used their big guns. They both got by with guys that, like you said, maybe a guy you're not counting on has a big pitching performance in postseason. They've got by that way. Now they're back around to their big guns.
Yeah, and everybody's rested up and ready to go.
Makes it fascinating.
There's going to be, it's probably going to be who handles the spotlight a little bit better. It could be a little nervy to start the game, and but man, it'll be a great game. It'll be something that those guys will never forget. To have played in this type of environment in this particular ball game.
Have you watched Dixon Williams at all? He's an ECU commit.
He's a really good player.
Mills said he didn't know, or he thought once Bryant Packard walked out the door to ECU, he would never have a hitter like that again, and he's putting them right up there with Pack.
Yeah, both of these rosters are full of good players, and again, it's they're high school kids, 7 o'clock. It's also interesting too, and I don't know. I know from my experience of coaching summer baseball or coaching, specifically American Legion baseball with that more of that age group. Routine is hugely important. It's all about, hey, let's get these guys out of bed. Obviously they're in summer, so it's all about getting them out of bed. Don't lay around. Don't get lazy. Let's get up. Let's keep a routine. Let's have a good lunch. Make sure you're getting your reps in, doing those types of things. So I think the team that handled preparation better, the team that handles the environment, that's gonna. Look, man, it's a coin toss.
I've seen on that note, somebody pointed out that covers high school sports that, hey, we should start the season late every year and play this late every year. And I don't know if it was Clay Medlin, Ryan Meadows. I know both of them said no, that's a terrible idea. But one of them pointed out that once you don't have the kids at school, those routines are a lot tougher to implement.
It's a different deal. I went again. When I was the head guy with Post 39, I had an indoor facility, so it made it a little easier. But our kind of rule of thumb was I needed to see you by a certain time, depending on when we got back the night before and when we were playing that day.
You can't walk down to the science class and see your guy.
I needed them. And my thing was I didn't want them out all night and then sleep in all day, and then we got to try to play a ball game at 7 o'clock. So I wanted to see them. I wanted to stay with some sense of a routine, and the groups that I had enjoyed being around each other so much that they would be there before they had to be there, and we would get done playing, and they'd want to hang out. So it worked out great, and it was just a.
And I'm thinking with these coaches, these programs.
Oh no, these guys know. These guys know what they're doing, and they've got they've got kids that again want to play the game. They've got kids that are expected to move on to play collegiately, and this is a great experience for them.
All right, let's give Mully our quiz that we've been asking. We asked Ellerby and Weaver. Weave didn't do as well as Ellerby. Who are the 4 teams remaining in the NBA playoffs, Mully?
Phoenix, Milwaukee.
So you went west and east. I need one more west, one more east.
The Clippers.
Yeah.
And the Nets are out.
Trae Young.
Oh, the Hawks.
The Hawks are in. I like the randomness. I know you're not flipping over to watch it. You might catch it if you're surfing, but I think it's great to have these new teams in. Last night, unbelievable ending to that game. DeAndre Ayton, we were talking about it a moment ago, but the pass that Jay Crowder made to clear that backboard and almost throw it in, and Mully, this has been a topic today. A lot of people realizing that there is no goaltending on an inbound pass.
No, that's correct. I had no idea, but I did hear somebody talking about that on Sports Center this morning or something. Anyway, so yeah, it was a heck of a pass, and you're right. It did look like a kind of a horse shot or something that you would do in the yard. I've done that 1,000 times. You
go over the backboard. Larry Bird did it during a game. I remember that highlight. Tonight it'll be the Hawks on the road at the Bucks. Chandler, are we going to ride with the Hawks again, plus the points?
I've been thinking about that. What's the line on that?
Because it's like 7.5.
So it's 7 again.
Yeah.
I want to say the past 3 or 4 games for the Hawks, they've been 7-point dogs.
Yeah, a lot of respect. Let's ride, he says. All right, fair enough. All right, Chandler, what do you got on your news desk? While Mully's here, we can chat about it.
We've mentioned a lot in this past hour, but for the people just now tuning in, we have a finalist list for the LSU job. Arizona's Jay Johnson, Link Jarrett from Notre Dame, and then also Cliff Godwin, a part of that list. Peyton Winstead for ECU football has announced that he is retiring due to a medical condition. We've seen that recently with another center, John Spellacy, and I believe Jeremy Grove had to retire due to a lot of concussions. Some Pirates in the minor leagues. Bryant Packard last night went 0 for 3 with a strikeout, but he did get a walk. So a tough night for Pack. But Burley had a double last night for the Springfield Cardinals.
He's killing it.
And also made 2 great catches. One was in the gap. He covered a lot of ground and got the catch there. And then one was towards the foul territory, and he had to slide and make the grab. That was a web gem. Out of NASCAR today, Jeff Gordon is leaving Fox Sports and is going to join the team at Hendrick Motorsports to become the vice chairman and the second-ranking official to majority owner Rick Hendrick.
I like Jeff Gordon in the broadcast booth with Mike Joy and Clint Boyer, but he's going to go back. Mully, would you ever leave this full-time gig here at Pirate Radio to get back into coaching, managing, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, look, man, I do miss it every day, all day, and to leave the full-time gig here at Pirate Radio.
I joked about that. You do have 2 full-time jobs.
I've got plenty.
You've got a lot going on.
No, but look, man, it's one of those things, and Jeff Gordon can make decisions based off of what his heart tells him to do because his purse strings are fine. So I mean, he it must be something that he has a draw to, and quite frankly, probably is being quite well compensated to make that move. So good for him.
All right, let's talk to before we let you go, our baseball guys' least favorite topic, which is Major League Baseball. And last night, play the circus theme, play the Benny Hill theme.
I mean, it was so bad.
So Max Scherzer gets what do you even call it?
Inspected.
That sounds so gross.
You know what?
But that's what it is,
and it's almost humiliating.
Yeah.
You're in the middle of the field on the fair foul line, and you're basically being patted down.
It is like a stop and frisk on the field.
You almost want to say, do you have probable cause to be searching?
That's a great question. Does Joe Girardi have probable cause to?
Well, are the Miranda rights at play here? There's a lot of questions.
Am I being arrested or detained? But Girardi's saying, and I understand what he's saying, that Scherzer was running his hand over his head. And Scherzer's saying, yeah, because I'm using rosin and I need some sweat.
Yeah.
And now that...
And Mully.
And he sweats profusely.
Did you see the umpire run his hands through Scherzer's hair.
No, I did not see that.
Oh my God,
that
it
hair.
is disgusting. Yeah, I'll pull up the video right now.
See, I mean, it's just ridiculous, and it is embarrassing. It is criminalizing getting people out.
It's like the worst airport pat down you could get in front of 40,000 people.
They should have.
We talked about this, the Romo video where
he dropped trout.
Is that the athletics guy?
Yeah.
The Oakland guy.
You know that
did he see the Scherzer video and then was like, "All right, I'm going hard. I'm going one up."
You know what would be hilarious is if the umpire walked out there in like a TSA coat.
Right, it is very TSA.
It did the pat down, and do we have to take our shoes off too?
So John Boy on Twitter broke it down, but at one point he puts his head down. The umpire is rubbing his head.
I did not see that.
Oh my God, it's so gross. And you know, I guess this is
a violation of like personal privacy on some level.
It's just crazy.
It's not good for the game.
I tell you what, though, they have proven that COVID is no longer a problem. Because they're getting right in people's faces, touching on each other.
People all over now.
COVID is no longer a problem. I think the next move is they're going to have like sticky substance smelling dogs.
Oh yeah,
and they'll go out and walk the dog around. Yeah,
I was thinking of a scanner, maybe. Like you got to walk through a scanner as you're going in and out of the dugout.
There's no way it goes to that extreme.
No,
we're kind of over. We're having fun on the air.
When my 12-year-old was 8, he said, "Dad, I'm doing sarcasm," and so that was kind of. But yeah,
let him know.
You got to keep Chandler in check sometimes.
But he, you know, it's disgusting to even watch it take place. I mean, it is. I just can't. Rob Manfred has left his thumbprint on this game in the worst way any commissioner has ever had an impact on their sport.
That is a big statement made by Mike Mullis there.
Tell me again, if somebody can tell me one that's bigger.
Yeah,
I mean positive or negative.
He's gone the wrong direction.
I'm
wondering now where this goes from here, though. After last night's debacle, is it debacle after debacle, or do we have some talks behind closed doors and say we got to do this a different way?
Somebody's got to get butt naked on the field.
I don't know what when you've got a pitcher standing there. Now, look, even just to come off the field or going on the field, and I've got to take my lid off. Like, I'm getting ready to go pitch against big league hitters.
And have somebody run their hands through my hair?
Let me give you my hat and give you my glove, and then you're going to check my belt just so I can go out. And it just baffles me.
And why was Girardi acting like such a prick?
Because Girardi said that I've watched Scherzer since 2009, and I've never seen him run his hand through his hair.
I'm not even talking about that part. I'm talking about getting on
coming
the
out and
dugout and like.
Well, so it was both ways. They were taunting, the Nats were taunting back that way, and then I mean, it's just. Again, man, it's just so embarrassing. This is not the reason I would far rather be talking about our Tatis bat flip than talking about pat downs, violations of people's personal space that takes place on the field of play. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, in the last week, I've had Matt Bridges, Cam Colmore, Gavin Williams join me, and I've asked them about the bat flips. And this sounds like a newer generation thing, but their thing is, you know what? Gavin, especially yesterday, said, if you can hit a home run off of me, good for you. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to strike you out next time.
Right. And that is a newer generation thought process. No question about it. Yeah. I mean, as a catcher, if somebody, and I can remember some that maybe somebody stood there a little bit long, whatever, but nobody had anything like the 20-foot toss in the air. But it just.
So are you Brian McCann? Were you defending baseball's honor at home plate?
Well, to me, it's sportsmanship.
Yeah,
they call it an unwritten rule of baseball, but it's sportsmanship. You hit a home run, there's no need to show up. Now, if you hit a home run, Game 7 of the World Series, bottom of the ninth, to win the World Series, you do what you got to do. But we saw Joe Carter, we saw Kirk Gibson, we've seen major home runs in the postseason.
None of that was showy. That was
no. I'm saying
pure emotion.
But there was not a bat flip.
No,
there
it was like joy,
fist pumps and running around the bases, and it was not in an effort to show somebody up. Yeah. And that's where I think it crosses the line. Is that it gets very WWE. The stare downs, and it goes both ways. The pitcher, will. You
had that pitcher from the College World Series a few years ago. that was
barking at Vanderbilt or somebody,
yeah.
and then lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
well, a lot of times karma will get you.
And all of these things that everybody goes unwritten rules, they are unwritten rules, but they're rules of sportsmanship. Now, again, throwing a baseball 100 miles an hour and hitting somebody above the shoulders, okay, I get that that's probably a little too much, but hitting them with 90 in the butt, and I'm okay with that. But it's
check out Mully's new podcast, 90 in the Butt, one of my favorite downloads every week. 90 in the butt.
No, let's not do anything in the butt related to Mully. Let's kind of stay away from that.
All right, fine. I do need you to show me your belt before you leave, though.
Yeah,
if you could.
You want to check? Is there some preconceived notion that that's the only place that you can hide sticky substances? Your
That's
belt,
a good point. You tell me,
your
baseball
belt,
guy.
No,
where are you putting it?
You could.
And another question for you: How does the catcher help out with scuffing balls and doing things?
And those things happen.
There you go.
No, but you know what?
Those things happen.
And again, your guy on the mound. Listen,
give me one example of what you did.
You know where the leather laces into your glove. There's little eyelets.
Yeah.
Sometimes those eyelets may get turned up a little bit.
Okay.
And so if you were to rub a ball across the eyelet,
just
may put a little stuff on it.
Oh,
yeah,
smooth.
Like
I like that.
I mean, stuff like that. But I've seen that happen. But the sunscreen and rosin thing has been around forever. And listen, I don't have a problem with the fact of finding some middle ground. If Spider Tech is too much and rosin is not enough, let's find of course, there is talk that Major League Baseball is going to come out with a product that they're going to produce that's going to make it all okay. It's kind of like at one point, there was this whole thing on what's HBO Real Sports about where the mud comes from to rub down baseballs before the game. They rub down like 12 dozen balls, and it came from somewhere in Mississippi. And then all of a sudden it was like an infomercial. Then all of a sudden you started seeing these little jars of mud pop up places.
Yeah.
So it's
like weed was illegal a couple of years ago. Now the government
it's exact same thing.
It's not, but I was trying to come up with a comparison. Maybe I didn't do a good job.
No, that was not very good.
Mully, we'll let you go. How about John Rahm's 2 putts on 17 and 18? And how about Bryson DeChambeau going from on top of the leaderboard to what, like 12, 13 back by the end of the thing?
That is unreal. The wheels running off. John Rahm, man, what a great story. And I really wanted to see him win that thing, and I mean,
well, Chandler was saying, I didn't really know either. That was his first major. I guess
first major.
We've heard his name so much, you kind of assume he's won one.
Well, when he got engaged to his wife at Torrey Pines, and he won his first professional tournament at Torrey Pines. Now he's won his first major at Torrey Pines.
Wow!
What a story.
So he wants to play every weekend at Torrey Pines. That they've got something going on. If they've got a member guest, I'm sure he'd love to play, but.
He's always in the mix. He's always on the leaderboard, it seems like. Maybe that's why we've heard his name so much.
The thing with Rahm, too, is we feel like he's been around a little longer than he has been. That kid's 26 years old.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Something like that.
He even looks a little older than that.
Yeah, and there was a lot of...
I didn't know he had that. You told me about it. I heard it on the broadcast that he had a hothead mentality.
Oh, big time. When he first came out, man, he was kind of labeled as a kind of a crybaby, and that would get in his way of winning. And I say winning, of playing well, is he would have something that would go wrong, and you would see it. I mean, you would see it manifest, and he would just blow up. And I thought that a huge statement to his maturity was how he handled the COVID situation.
Oh, yeah.
The statement he made afterwards, and then obviously to pull yourself together after going through quarantine and all the things you have to do and coming out playing like you did, man. I just thought it was really cool. And look, I don't think Louis Oosthuizen choked. I mean, obviously
one awful tee shot.
Obviously, after he knew that he was no longer in the lead, it kind of changes what you have to do a little bit, and maybe it obviously affected him to some level. But I just thought Rahm won the tournament.
I heard this on the radio. I was in my car while Oosthuizen was on 18, and they looked up the difference between second and third or second and fourth. Like, should Louis just go for it all here, or should he just play his game? It was like $500,000.
Yeah, it was big money.
Like $750,000.
Big money.
Like that is, and why would you go for it all when the difference is that much? That's
and you think about it, he's still in that situation. It's kind of lost that Louis Oosthuizen birdied 18.
Right. Yeah. That's
that's lost in all this that he birdied 18. It just what Rahm did was otherworldly. And Louis Oosthuizen is kind of that guy. He's a check casher. He doesn't play PGA Tour a whole lot. He plays a lot in European Tour. But he's a guy, he's won a major. He's got arguably the best swing in the game right now. It's very repeatable, and he's going to be around for a long time. Pretty interesting U.S. Open.
Mully, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah,
Corey Glore just tweeted, had to stop by one more time before I go, and took a picture of Clark LeClaire, and the field is naked.
It looks like they're doing a little work to it.
So keep an eye on that. All right, Mully, we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, buddy.
We will take a timeout, come back. Jason Mills, DH Conley Baseball, joins us on the other side. We'll get you ready for Conley Rose when we return after this.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Cliff Godwin. Summer is here and I want to invite your son to attend Cliff Godwin Youth Camps. We will offer 3 sessions the weeks of June 28th, July 12th, and July 26th. All camps will be held at Clark LeClaire Stadium and campers will get baseball instruction from members of the 2021 ECU baseball team. Campers will also play games and each camp ends with our famous Pirate Slip and Slide. Full day and half day sessions are offered. For more information, visit cliffgodwinbaseballcamp.com. See you there. Go Pirates.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Ready to travel and take a trip this summer? Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has recently added more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
At U.S. Cellular, we see our customers as more than just customers. They're neighbors. When you switch to U.S. Cellular, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. As a neighbor, you deserve it. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork or online at greenvilleautowworld.net.
Hey Pirate fans, it's time to get that yard done right with the new John Deere mower from Quality Equipment. Our premium lawn care lineup is what every homeowner needs this spring. A John Deere will change the way you mow with easy-to-use attachments, effortless steering, and intuitive controls. Right now, save up to $700 on X300, X500, and X700 series mowers. Learn more at QualityEquip.com and get quality done right. Offer ends 10/29/21. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico. A huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's in downtown Greenville and now available through DoorDash, featuring a half-gallon of the famous margarita mix to go for only $9.99. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
This is Stephen Igo. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's. the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
This is ECU assistant football coach Roy Tesh, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and has an awesome patio perfect for some outdoor dining. There is something for everyone every weeknight, including sports trivia with our very own Clip Brock. AJ's has live music every Friday and Saturday with no cover, and brunch every Sunday. Make today an AJ's day. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, I've got 29 questions ready to go for tonight. AJ McMurphy's 8 o'clock sports trivia. Going to be a fun time, so come hang out, grab some pals, and form a team and come compete tonight at AJ's, 8 o'clock. It is Wood Duck Wednesday. We've got some tickets to give away to a Thirsty Thursday, July 15th game. We'll give away 4 tickets, lunch for 2 at Tiebreakers, a large 2-topping pizza from Domino's, and a t-shirt from University Sportswear. It can all be yours. A big Wood Ducks Wednesday giveaway in Hour 3.
And also coming up tonight, the Pirate Radio podcast is back when LRV goes one-on-one with some members of F3ENC.
Well, 1-on-3.
Yeah, 1-on-3. F3ENC will be hosting the 2021 Sasquatch on Saturday, July the 31st in the Greenville Town Commons. Tune in tonight to the Pirate Radio podcast at 6 p.m. on 92.7 FM right here in Greenville, 104.1 FM in Washington, or subscribe to our podcast in your Apple Store and listen right now. Look for the link on pr927fm.com.
Good stuff, Chan Man. All right, let's head out to the Fixed NC Live line. Earlier in the week, I talked to D.H. Conley head baseball coach Jason Mills. We were going to preview the game for you on Tuesday. Well, the game was not played on Tuesday. It will be played Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. So let's hear from Jason Mills right now as I had a chance to catch up with him. Here's how it sounded. Coach, how you doing?
Doing great. Appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir, and it had to go down this way, right? You had to have one more date with J.H. Rose before you could wrap up this season.
Absolutely. I mean, we got we've been kind of eyeing this when we saw the brackets out. We knew that there was a chance. I mean, Rose has been playing pretty well, for a while, and so we knew it was going to, probably come down to the two of us. So both of us had to, some tough games through the playoffs to get through, but found ways to win.
What are the pros and cons of facing off against a team that you know so well? Obviously, they know what you do. At the same time, you know what they do. But what do you think of the pros and cons of that, Coach?
Well, I mean, we haven't seen each other in almost 2 months. We played the second week of the season, I think, third week of the season, excuse me, and so a lot has changed since then. I mean, both teams have made adjustments in their lineups. New kids have shown up and that weren't in the lineup at the beginning and started playing well. And others dropped out, and kids have basically recovered that full year from the COVID year where they've got that experience. And now that we both have 3 playoff games under our lid, we're not feeling as stressed as we were last Tuesday. We were really tight, I think, against Jacksonville because besides Mateus, it was everybody's first playoff game, and you could see that we were tight. And then we played two tough games, the last ones, and these kids are confident, and theirs are likewise. And this ought to be fun. So there's so many pros in this. The pros are, I get to play at home. They don't have to make a 3.5-hour bus drive again, which I'm sure they're excited about.
Yeah.
The community gets to enjoy some good baseball, some really good players on both sides. That the crowds have been amazing the last couple or all 3 rounds we've had. But this one should be really, really good. So get your seat early.
DH Conley head baseball coach Jason Mills joining us. 3-0 win over Jacksonville. Followed that up with a 4-1 win against Asheboro, and a few more runs scored from both teams there against Clayton. A 6-5 win. And talked about Dixon Williams last time you were on the show, Coach, but it looks like he's had a phenomenal playoff run here for you guys.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just what he's done this whole year is just remarkable. You know, and I say it again. It's just he never stops amazing me in what he does, and you know, the confidence he has. I mean, it's like my old teammate Lee Kushner from back in '93, graduate at East Carolina, came back and watched Dixon take BP in March on a Saturday. We were just having a little hit around, and he's like, that kid is unbelievable. And I said, well, you know, I wasn't sure at the time. I said, yeah, he's pretty good. And Lee's all the way up in New York following us, and texted me a little while ago and just said, how in the world do you pitch to Dixon Williams in the seventh inning? I said, well, it's because Justin McDonald's really good behind him, and Mateus is good behind him, and you know, Dixon's dynamic on the bases. He can steal bases, and you know, you got to pitch to him. You can't put that guy on, and Dixon came through again and hadn't pitched a single pitch ever in a Conley uniform in a real game, and gets the ball and gets two big punch outs in relief for us. And man, that kid's having a special year.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. We were talking last week about the College World Series and Arkansas starting their closer Cops in the game against NC State. There were other cases of closers starting, and we brought up the, you know, Randy Mazey going to Lawhorn in that game in a super regional. So, I mean, it's all hands on deck, right, Coach? When you get to this point in the season, some guys are going to have to play outside their roles a little bit when you get to this point in the playoffs and the postseason.
Well, you know, we had a freshman in the bullpen ready when we made that decision, and you know, Coach Spencer and I were talking in the dugout going into the inning, and we said, you know, you'd rather go with the guy that's been there all the time instead of, you know, putting the pressure on a freshman that hadn't been there one time this year, and he's got a bright future as well. But you know, it's Dixon. It was his game to win and lose on the mound, and you know, we went through everything we pretty much had because we had no Mateus or McLean, which we'll have both in the game against Rose. But we rolled out a sophomore, and Colby Case was wonderful, man. He pitched his tail off and competed, and Clayton was really good, probably the best offensive team we've seen all year. And then we had a senior come in that hadn't thrown but maybe 3 or 4 innings all year, and then we brought a kid in, you know, little Matty Jones, and he got us what we needed to get the ball to Dixon and really competed out there. And he had only had 2 appearances on the year and only thrown 2 innings, and we kind of knew going into that game that we were going to have to piece it together, and our plan that Coach Spencer and I put together with our pitching staff fell to a T. We knew exactly who we were going to next, and you know, in every situation, and our kids performed well.
And the reward for that, Coach, I guess, is having your big guns, your studs available on the mound for J.H. Rose tonight, right?
Yeah, we're going to go with Mateus, and you know, we have Evan in relief, and so he both have thrown well. Both of them, you know, have thrown against Rose, and Rose has had some success against both of them, and so that's where we're going to try to make our adjustments from seeing them. I've actually seen Rose 3 other games since then when I was out scouting other teams, and so I've seen some things that we didn't see early that we're seeing now that you know, hopefully will give us a little edge.
Jason Mills joining us. If I recall, Coach, I think you played, twice in 1 week against J.H. Rose, and you got them on the road. They got you guys there at Conley, and was that the only home loss you suffered this year?
Yeah, that's our only loss of the year.
Yeah.
So they're our one blemish, and you know, it was a lot of fun, and both teams played extremely hard at both games, and you know, it was really good for us because besides Mateus, nobody had experience playing that varsity game against Rose since we didn't play against last year. And I know people can just say, "Oh, it's another game, blah blah." But in this community, I mean, people love this rivalry between us, and it's a good one. And the kids play extremely hard. And you know, after the game, we're all friends, and kids talk, and the coaching staff, with them and us, we enjoy competing against each other, and yet we still, we've talked every day through this entire playoff run, whether it be in the morning or the night, to congratulate each other. And, we've got the utmost respect for them and their program, and we're really, I think both clubs are really excited about playing each other again.
Yeah, it should be a heck of a ball game and quite a scene, as you mentioned earlier. I was going to ask you how the crowds have been throughout this playoff run. You've said they've been great, and that'll get taken to another level, I would imagine, tonight, Coach.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's been packed. There's not a seat empty, and there's lawn chairs all over the place. It kind of makes me put the pressure on evil Rob Maloney to build me some more stands. I need some more seats there, Mr. Maloney.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot of fun for these kids. I mean, most kids don't get a chance to play in front of this many people ever in their life, and these kids are getting multiple chances at both clubs. This whole time on the road, and it's just such a special thing, and it's so exciting for them, win or lose. I mean, it's something that both teams are going to be able to remember. My guys from 19 that lost in the Eastern Finals, they still talk about, the atmosphere when we played New Hanover at home and down there. It was just, it's different, and it doesn't make you nervous. It makes you excited, and that's what's fun about this.
Jason Mills joining us, Coach. Appreciate your time today. Good luck to you and the squad tonight, and we'll talk to you again soon here on Pirate Radio Live. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you for having me.
Jason Mills joining us today on the Fixed NC Live line. Conley Rose tonight at 7 o'clock. As many of you know, I am a Conley Viking, but I'm an equal opportunity Viking. So on that note, when we return, I will talk to the legend himself, Ronald Vincent, J.H. Rose, head baseball coach. We'll get his perspective on tonight's game. That is on the way when we begin Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you right after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Denton Hardy, also known as the Closed Hand.
Back in 2013, there was no F3 here in Greenville. I didn't even know about F3. F3 was only, I think, a couple years old, even in Charlotte. And I've been working out on my own, doing running, lifting weights, doing different things for about 10 years. I was kind of looking for some way to test myself.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new Buick Enclave 2021 and save over $6,800 or 0% for 72 months. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio perfect for some outdoor dining. Stop by AJ's on Monday for open mic, music on the patio on Tuesday, sports trivia with me, Clip Brock, on Wednesdays, and music bingo on Thursday. AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square, Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Ooh, look at all that Parmesan cheese on that papadilla. Our freshly folded flatbread filled with juicy meats and melted cheese now has a crunchy, toasty outside. Now that's what's Papa. Order today at papajohns.com.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Parmesan-crusted papadilla for only $7. The new Parmesan-crusted papadilla is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Hey, Pirate fans, did you know there are thousands of special needs children and adults right here in our community that loves ECU athletics as much as you do? Robbie's Clubhouse is a local nonprofit organization that can turn your unused ECU tickets into a fun day for a family with special needs. If you can't make it to the next Pirate game, simply call 1-800-DIAL-ECU and donate and designate your tickets for Robbie's Clubhouse. Go Pirates!
0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar, full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero, 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Select Bank and Trust. Banking is banking until the service is not the same. Wouldn't you like to deal with a bank that is responsive to your needs, can make local decisions, and cares about you, the customer? Try Select Bank and Trust. Bank local. Bank select. SelectBank.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Get educated and make prudent decisions about your financial future. Contact David Dom at Carolina Wealth Management today at 439-1344 for a free consultation. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Cliff Brock.
Wow. What an intro. Thanks, Chandler. Chandler Honeycutt and Glenn Griffin are here. We've almost made it through, I guess at 4:30 today. We'll be at the halfway point of the Pirate Radio Live week.
Yes.
And
I like it. Halfway point of Big Dog Week here on PRL.
Wait, when do we start calling it that?
That's what I call it.
Wait, what did you call it?
Big Dog Week.
Because I'm
Big Dog Week?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Shark Week.
Yeah. Oh, we have all Glenn Griffin themed shows. I think they're good. Like a wrestling show, I don't know. What else do you do? Gaming? Are you a gamer?
Yeah. A little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
For sure.
For sure.
Do you think this Madden game was lost a little bit before you even got there?
I've yet to play you in. I've yet to play either one of you in our new league.
In the new season. Of the Tough League.
I am 3-1 with the Dodgers. It's kind of unfair that I have the Dodgers, but then again, I'm not that good at the game, so it kind of evens out.
And you did trade away some pieces.
I traded Mookie Betts for Ronald Acuna and
right off top.
Kershaw for Teoscar Hernandez, one of my favorite Blue Jay guys.
I'm going to pry away Bellinger, though.
Yeah, I mean,
that trade's out there. And I'm giving you Harrison.
I keep forgetting to look at your trade offer.
I remembered who the third player is. It's Harrison Bader. It's the fastest player in the game. Like I'm giving you a weapon.
Yeah.
Plus Arenado.
Yeah, I'll look at that. I need to look at that.
I mean, I understand the Yachty trade is not that great, that part of it, but
Chandler, play some games. Speaking of baseball, coming up tonight, 7 o'clock, it'll be D.H. Conley hosting J.H. Rose. We just heard from Jason Mills. We got the Conley side of things. Let's get the Rose side of things with the legendary RV. I talked to Ronald Vincent on Tuesday. So once again, you'll hear part of this interview. He ends the interview by saying, I just hope we play. Talking about yesterday, hoping the rain would go away. It did not, but they are indeed playing tonight. So on Tuesday, I talked to RV. It sounded like this. Coach, how you doing?
Doing all right. Just kind of
waiting to see what this weather's going to do.
Yes, sir. That's weather permitting. It's going to be a showdown tonight between Conley and J.H. Rose. And, Coach, I guess the good news is you guys are back on the road, but you won't have to travel that much tonight. You put in that. How many miles have you put in this postseason, going to away games and winning those games?
I think it was close to 900.
My goodness.
100 miles in 3 trips, yeah, on a bus.
On a packed together on a bus. Well, I guess that's good team bonding, if nothing else, right, Coach?
That's right. It's everybody has to stay together for a little while. So, yeah.
We talked to you a couple weeks ago, and you talked about pitching and defense. And has that ruled the way for you so far? How have you been able to make this run, Coach, to the Eastern Finals?
Well, we got 2 really well-pitched games in the first 2 games, and then in Saturday we were kind of our pitching was down and got behind, and then had a tremendous pitching performance from Wade Jarman. Wade came in the second inning down 6-0 and gave up 1 run, and he was just lights out, and that gave us a chance to get back in it. And it's always where it is, they're always a couple swings away from getting back in the game, and fortunately we were able to do it. And but the pitching and our defense is just, we made 4 or 5 really good plays in the last couple of days, last couple of games. So we will have to do that again.
Yeah, when your backs are against the wall like that, Coach, well, what is your message to the team? How do you keep the guys loose in the dugout, but also focused on what they got to do? Well, what's that? Answer to that, Coach, as far as facing a team that you know so well this deep in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's really strange for one thing, but he's right. We played back in the 1st of May, and it's been a lot of things changed on each team between now and there. But we know their pitching, they know our pitching, and I don't know. You never know how that's going to play into it. Both teams feel like they can exploit or know some of the tendencies the other team has, and it's a tough thing to play a real good team 3 times in 1 year. It's a tough thing in any sport. You hate to football, you hate to come back in basketball, you hate to have to play 3 times, but that's where it fell this year. So you're playing a very good team 3rd time. Where it's supposed to be for the Eastern Finals. You're supposed to be playing good teams.
Ronald Vincent joining us, Coach. Yesterday, Troy D was on the show, and Troy might overhype things every now and then. You know how he is, Coach. But he said, "Is this the biggest Conley Rose baseball game ever played? The biggest baseball game, high school baseball game, in Pitt County between these teams?" And I kind of looked at him and I said, "Well, you know what? Maybe so. I mean, it's all on the line here to go to the championship." You've coached in so many of these. What do you say to that? Is this maybe the biggest one of all, Coach?
It could easily be, because the winner of this goes to the state next, Friday. And I remember when Alex White and Ryan Grapeland and them were playing, and we had it was maybe the second round or third round that time, and Conley won that and went on to win the state championship. So there's been a couple of them, but this obviously the winner of this game goes to the state finals, and it doesn't get any bigger than that. So it's got to be one of the biggest ever.
Coach, you got, I guess, the underdog role. You will be playing on the road. As I said, you have already knocked off D.H. Conley. But as we see all the time in baseball, we saw it last night. How about NC State knocking off Vanderbilt in that 1-0 game? A tremendous pitching matchup in that one. And I don't know, we're expecting the same type of matchup coming up tonight, I think, between these two great teams.
That was crazy, and that's baseball. The guy from Vanderbilt strikes out 15 innings.
Yeah,
and still loses. You can't do much better than that. And so I expect it's going to be a tight game anyway it goes. And the good players are going to have to play good. And defensive play here or there. Ball hits the rock. You never know, and see what's going to happen.
Coach, Jason Mills kind of said the same thing you did as far as your pitching was set up for games 1 and 2. You kind of had to piece it together there in the third game, but tonight he's got his horses ready to go. Is that the same situation for your Rampants coming up tonight?
Yeah, we got the Taliban's. We've got our three main pitchers. Everybody's eligible but Wade Jarman. So we got the three pitchers that got us to the first two games. And with the Taliban's and Lee Watson and Grayson Myrick. And but Conley's got Mateus and Emac, Evan McLean, so it'll be there's 4 or 5 good pitchers in that group.
Runs could be expensive, as Tim Corbin said, Vanderbilt head coach, when they face Gavin Williams. It's going to be tough to cross one tonight. Coach, when I talked to you last week, you talked about how much fun you had at the Greenville Regional with all that crowd. Tonight, you're going to be in a similar atmosphere with all those fans. I know that excites the team. When you're in a big atmosphere like that, do you notice it? I know it doesn't overwhelm you, but do you kind of recognize when you're in a big moment like that?
Well, I love it to start with. That's just what you want to be in. But actually, I don't hear anything. I don't.
Right.
The fans. I don't hear the guys say so and so. I don't. I don't. When there's all that many people, you just don't hear much. You hear noise, but you don't hear all that stuff, and you just concentrate on doing what you're doing, and don't worry about what comes out of the bleachers and the other dugouts. You just take care of yourself.
Man, it is a great time for baseball, Coach. This late in June, you guys are playing, got the rivalry tonight, got the College World Series going on, Greenville Little League City Championship, and all the wood bat baseball that the Pirates and other college guys are playing in, the Wood Ducks, Major League, everything's happening right now. It's a great time to be a baseball guy, isn't it, Coach?